sent Lan Yu, leading the Azure Banner army into battle in the snow, to defeat Zhang Guolai from the Yuan court. Afterward, Cheng Sheng pursued to Nahachu, who feigned surrender at Jinshan. Lan Yu saw through his scheme and captured him alive, leading Nahachu to surrender to the Great Ming with 110,000 men. Excellent! That battle was truly satisfying. That young fellow, Lan Yu. I've read the victory report this time. He was mainly responsible for the fighting in Yunnan. He's starting to resemble his brother-in-law. Today's Great Ming Historical Knowledge Test. All 10 questions have been answered. Next is the Great Ming Historical Events Lecture and Reading Time. Hongwu's biggest bloodbath, the Lan Yu case. Why was the renowned General Lan Yu brutally executed? Great Ming Historical Space-Time Knowledge Test. Question 11. Prince Jing, Zhu Gang, had a distinctive characteristic among Emperor Hongwu, Zhu Yuanzhang's sons. He had an exceptionally large number of descendants. The following question is, if each of Prince Jing, Zhu Gang's descendants, on average, had 4 sons, and assuming a generation passes every 20 years, then, starting from him, within 100 years, how many descendants would he have in the 5th generation? A 20, B 256, C 1024, D 4096. Oh my! It seems our imperial sons are all stronger than us. HMPH. And you have the nerve to gloat? Is this question referring to me? It seems the question on the heavenly screen at least implies I have quite a few descendants myself. Third brother, you truly are blessed with many sons. But this isn't right. I am the 1st generation. I only had 4 sons. Nonsense. I already have 12 sons right now. How can you say I only have 4? Doesn't this mean only 4 of my sons will live? Prince Jing, Zhu Gang, suddenly felt this question seemed to foretell something. The correct answer to this question is C, 1024. The solution is as follows. Prince Jing currently has 4 first-generation sons. 20 years later, the 2nd generation, grandchildren, will be 16. 40 years later, there will be 64 third-generation descendants. 60 years later, the 4th-generation descendants will be 256. 80 years later, there will be 1024 5th-generation descendants. 100 years later, there will be 4096 6th-generation descendants. However, the question asks for the number of 5th-generation descendants, so the correct answer is not 4096, but 1024. Only the princess consort of Yan answered this question correctly. They can ask questions like this. This heavenly screen is a bit too mischievous, isn't it? No, this shouldn't be. How did I choose wrong? How could 4th brother also be wrong? It seems the wife I chose for 4th brother is truly impressive. She's no ordinary scholar. How is she just an ordinary scholar? So many others are short-sighted. Even the top scholars can't compare to her. She probably just guessed though. I often teach my children that one should not go to extremes in anything. The Prince of Yan is the Emperor's son. The better he performs, the happier the Emperor will be. But my daughter is the Emperor's daughter-in-law. If she performs too well, it will make the Emperor quite uncomfortable. Great Ming Historical Spacetime Knowledge Test. Question 11, bonus round. This question is only for the princess consort of Yan, who answered question 11 correctly. Refusal implies her father, Duke Shuda, will have a short life and career. You wretched heavenly screen. This is ruthlessly trying to trap my daughter. According to the Grand Ancestors Regulation, each Great Ming Imperial family member has a minimum standard of 500 time die units annually. Please calculate for Prince Jing, Zhu Gang's 4th, 5th, and 6th generation descendants, how many die units of allowance will they need to collect within the first 100 years? A 128,000 die team units. B 512,000 die units. C 664,000 die my units. D 688,000 door units. The answering time for this question is 2 incense sticks worth of time. Everyone remain silent, and do not disturb the princess consort of Yan while she answers. Anyone who makes a sound will be considered defiant in going against Duke Shuda. After hearing the voice from the heavenly screen, old Zhu also grew tense. Even though he didn't know what this question truly meant, I probably understand the meaning of this heavenly screen question now. I fear it will next discuss the Great Ming's tax revenue. The princess consort of Yan chose answer D. 688,000 Dai day units. Congratulations to the princess consort of Yan for answering correctly. How much? 2.68 million day units? Is Prince Jin's family a bunch of pigs? So greedy? What was the Great Ming's tax revenue in Hongwu year 53? Last year's collected rice was 24 million dime units. And wheat was 4 million times dai units. What? You mean 1/10 of national tax revenue consumed by Prince Jin's family alone? That wretched third brother. Bring him here for me to deal with. Great Ming Historical Knowledge Test. Question 12. Emperor Chengzu, due to a hasty ascension to the throne, mistakenly chose an era name that had already been used in history. Which of the following might have been the era name Emperor Chengzu chose? A. Yangheng. B. Dashun. C. Zhengguan. D. Damning. Besides, this thing called an era name. From Emperor Wu of Han until now, it's been over 1,000 years. If not 1,000, then at least 500. How many people can remember them all clearly? However, it is thought that even if it was used in history, one should still choose an era name that is not too conspicuous. The era name Zhengguan absolutely cannot be used. Otherwise, on one hand, it would mean Chengzu admits his usurpation. Mr. Lai makes a good point. After all, the era name Zhengguan is indeed somewhat taboo. But even though using Zhengguan as an era name is a bit odd, how many of the answers to the previous questions haven't been odd? It's just that, compared to Zhengguan and Daming, which one is more outlandish is the real question. Right? This question has a precondition. That is, an era name repeatedly used in history. Yongle. It seems no legitimate dynasty has used it. Dashun. I remember the Tang Dynasty used that. Zhengguan. That goes without saying. The damning option is even more absurd. Our dynasty is the Great Ming Dynasty. Chengzu surely wouldn't use such an era name, would he? And I don't remember anyone else having used it. Let's choose Dashun then. D. Dashun was indeed used in the Tang Dynasty, and again, at the end of the Ming Dynasty, by Zhu Yuanzhang, emperor of the Daxi Kingdom that controlled Sichuan, and also the dynastic title of Li Zicheng, the Dashun emperor who overthrew the Ming Dynasty. As the cold voice from the heavenly screen echoed, the chorus of shocked gasps rose from beneath the heavenly screen. They hadn't expected that the Great Ming, established only 14 years ago, would already hear the history of its downfall. This wretched heavenly screen is trying to destroy us. First, my sister passed away. Then our Zhu Biao and Xiong Ying died prematurely. And now even our Great Ming is destined to fall. See, the era name Zhengguan was used by Emperor Taizong of Tang Li Shimin. This question already stated, due to a hasty ascension to the throne, meaning the incorrect era name was chosen due to an error. So this option is absolutely impossible. The era name Daming was indeed used in history, during the Southern Dynasty's Song period, and Daming is already the dynastic title of the current Ming. Even the dumbest person wouldn't choose this, right? You truly are the most inept batch of history test takers I've ever seen. It seems the answer is Yongle. But has the era name Yongle ever been used by anyone? Since it was a hasty ascension, an error caused by a mistake, that means this era name has been used before. But very few people know about it, so it's not surprising if one gets it wrong. The era name Yongle has indeed been used multiple times in history. The first was by Zhang Zhonghua, ruler of former Liang during the 16 Kingdoms period, who used it for 8 years. The second was during the chaotic Tang and 5 Dynasties period, when Zhang Yuxian proclaimed himself the 8 heavenly kings of Zhangtian in Gananzhou and changed the era name to Yongle. He was defeated by Southern Tang. The third was in the second year of Xuanhe, Northern Song Dynasty, when the famous Jiangnan leader Fangla's uprising shook the southeast, using Yongle as his era name, and proclaimed himself the sacred sovereign Yongle of Great Ming. And Emperor Chengzu of Ming also chose this era name. So that's how it is. Yongle was even a sacred sovereign Yongle of Great Ming. He actually shared the name with us. These scholars really love to tease people. Your Majesty, do you still remember, a dozen years ago, that joke we told about if it's done it's a petty person? Do you remember that joke? Yes. If it's done, it's a petty person. Haha. Old Zhang.